Hello and welcome back, my practical alchemists. Welcome back to our mini series, mini season Wellness 101, where I've been diving into different wellness topics that I really have found interesting and or helpful throughout my own journey. And it's been a really fun way to self-educate myself a lot deeper into some of the modalities that I'm not super knowledgeable in, and also to remind myself how simple some of these practices are and how accessible they can be. And today is no exception because we're going to talk about something that has gained a lot of trend in the recent years, has gained a lot of popularity as a modality. And I was kind of laughing at myself doing the research for this episode because I thought, wow, if our ancestors knew that we had a modality today that was considered something that we do for well being, they would be shocked at how much we've drifted from our natural ways with nature. But alas, here we are in the modern world, and it is what it is. And so you might have heard about this modality before. Maybe you haven't. Forest bathing. This is something that gained this popularity by this coined term in the 80s, in the 1980s in Japan. This both physiological and psychological exercise was called Shinrin Yoku, otherwise known as forest bathing or taking in the forest atmosphere. And the purpose was twofold. First and foremost was to offer an eco antidote to the tech boom and the tech boom burnout that we're all so accustomed to and maybe don't even realize that we're experiencing. And then also to inspire people to reconnect and protect the country's forests, which I think is so brilliant. And again, I was laughing because forest bathing is essentially going into nature, going into the forest, and being immersed in the healing benefits of nature, which seems like something that should be so commonly practiced, but it's not. I think for a lot of us who live in big cities and or work modern day jobs, being in nature is a pretty small percentage of our day, if at all in our day, right? Maybe it's a ritual that we do in the weekend with our friends and families to go hiking or go to the beach, go to the lake, go to the park. And it really is so monumental for us to be immersed in nature and spend time in nature because it's so innately good for us. There have been so many both physiological and psychological benefits tied to this concept of forest bathing. And while Japan did credit the term Shinrin Yoku, the concept and the heart of the practice is not new. I mean, come on, we are nature. And many cultures have long recognized the importance of the natural world to immune health. So, even though forest bathing is not just for the wilderness lovers, this practice can be as simple as walking in any natural environment and consciously connecting with the elements around you. And of course, there are the more structured experiences where you can join trained guides for a meditative 2 to 3 hour ecotherapy excursion. Ecotherapy, that's my dream. Honestly, I think after this episode, I'm going to probably spend a good amount of my time Googling ecotherapy certifications because, come on, we know who I am. Always looking for the next certification. But in all seriousness, I want to talk about some of the different ways in which this ecotherapy forest bathing has been practiced, not just in Japan, but across different parts of the world, with some tangible facts and cool insights into why this is so powerful. So, we're going to start here. If you're listening in the States, in our home country, the United States, going to the Adirondack Mountains in New York. So there are a ton of forest bathers in the Adirondack Park. There is so much beautiful nature, especially in upstate New York. It's actually the largest protected area in the contiguous United States. And what they have found, actually, the native evergreens in these forests are both aromatic and release a high concentration of what is known as phytoncides, which are airborne essential oils. So these forests release these natural airborne essential oils that not only smell really, really lovely, but also provide immune boost. I actually Googled it because I'd never heard of the word phytoncide before. And full disclosure, I also YouTubed on how to pronounce it. Phytoncides have antibacterial and antifungal qualities, which help plants fight disease. And when we breathe in these phytoncides, our bodies respond with increasing the number and activity of a type of white blood cell, which are known to kill tumors and virus infected cells in our bodies. And so I'm just going to pause right there. Uh, These forests are releasing airborne essential oils that are not only delightful, they also have antifungal, antibacterial, tumor fighting, virus infected cell fighting abilities. And nature is amazing. That's basically it. That's basically all I have to say about this. So if you're in upstate New York, highly recommend go check out the Adirondack forests and go do some forest bathing up there because it's going to boost your immune system. Like literally these forests are releasing really great smelling aromatic essential oils that also help our immune system. And so yeah, I really loved that component of yes, of course, we know that resetting our frequency to the frequency of the earth is so beneficial. And then also, it's just so amazing that we can go get our immune system rebooted just by breathing in these natural essential oils. I found that to be really beautiful. We're going to take it to Hawaii now. So, in Hawaii, there is a deep connection to the Aina, the land that's central to Hawaiian culture. And I've had the pleasure of visiting those beautiful lands, and it's just so prevalent how at least the natives have such deep reverence for the land there. And forests there are traditionally revered as life giving for the natural materials that they provide and the spiritual needs that they satisfy. And it's easy to see how the abundance of aromatic flowers and medicinal plants are found on these remote island chains. And, it really is so beautiful that the land gives so much, even though it's isolated, it's out here in the ocean. And not only are they beautiful, but they also have really sweet scents and are deeply medicinal. And so, also in Hawaii, these lands are deeply regarded as being medicinal. Same thing in Costa Rica. I mean, Costa Rica is known for having a blue zone, right? The places where people live the longest. And with more than 50% of the country being covered by forests, Costa Rica is a forest bathing paradise. This is another place I've had the great honor and pleasure of visiting. What's crazy is that in Costa Rica, Costa Rica is nearly 6% of the world's biodiversity. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that is one country, not very big, mind you, that has nearly 6% of the world's biodiversity. And it's just incredible because Costa Rica provides so many different natural landscapes. There are actually guided forest bathing tours available in Costa Rica that are so deeply healing, so beautiful. Highly recommend. Two places I haven't been where forest bathing is quite popular is also New Zealand. The world's oldest and largest kari trees live there. And these are sacred to the Maori people in New Zealand. They are considered the protectors of the forest, and they actually do a lot of tours to look at these beautiful ancient trees. And then the last one is Kenya, and there is actually some ancient forests that are home to endemic plants, cedars, wild orchids, more than 350 bird species, elephants, and one of the only populations of Debraza monkeys in the world. And so this is a really beautiful place for a sensory immersion excursion, Kenya. They do also do guided forest bathing tours, and I mean, if you have the privilege of visiting any of these places, add forest bathing to your list. And even if you don't, head over to your backyard, head over to a park nearby, go to a body of water, and just immerse yourself in nature. Because even if the Adirondack forest essential oils aren't present where you are, there are still so many benefits in getting out of our constant mundane technology driven, highly susceptible to burnout lifestyles that we have, and just get back in touch with the earth. See what happens. Take some time, no technology, maybe leave your phone on to take a photo for later, but then turn it off and let yourself be fully immersed. There's also something to be said about reconnecting with what is known as the Schumann resonance, which is the electromagnetic field that's constantly pulsating around the earth and allowing our own electromagnetic field to recalibrate to the Schumann resonance. Because not only through external factors in the galaxies, through solar flares, is the electromagnetic field of the Earth constantly being zapped, which means that we're constantly being zapped. We're also disrupting the frequency within the planes that we live through Wi Fi, through radio waves, through noise, through technology. And so the immediate electromagnetic fields that we inhabit are also being zapped. It's no wonder that so many of us are experiencing high levels of stress, high levels of anxiety, even people who are working in the field of wellness, right? We're fighting against a lot that our bodies are not naturally used to. So, however often, whenever often, grab your family, grab your friends, grab your loved ones, and go be immersed in nature. It's so deeply healing. I don't need to tell you this, but sometimes you just need to be gently pinched and reminded to do the things that we know we need to do for our well being. So, on that note, I'm going to go take my dog for a sunset hike. As you can tell, the sun is starting to set here in Topanga, Southern California. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was a sweet episode I really wanted this season to be tangible. It's like, let it be digestible, let it be bite sized, let it be something that people can take away and be like, okay, I can implement this today, right? And then there are other episodes that are a bit more out there, a bit more esoteric, and that's all good too, because this is practical alchemy, baby. Let's go. Practical, magical, all in ones, all at once. I'm rambling at this point. If you're still listening, you're a real one. If you loved this episode and you left a rating, a comment, a review, shared it with somebody, you're a real one. And if you have found any value in this, if there are topics that you want to hear about, DM us, let us know at Practical Alchemy, or you can find me at Love and Alchemy. And I'll see you. You know what? This might be the last episode of the mini-series. So I'll see you in season 3. Oh my gosh, I'll see you in season 3. So many good people, so many good guests coming in season 3. I am just ecstatic. Okay, I don't want to miss the sunset. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.